You're listening to The Three Pillars of Success, a podcast that inspires people of all walks of life to gain perspective on what it means to succeed. My name is Geraldine Convento, and I'm best known for entrepreneurship, my skills in web presence, and SEO. Thanks for listening. Enjoy the show. Hey everyone, how you doing? This is Geraldine Convento, and I am the host of the Three Pillars of Success podcast. Today, I'm very excited to have Nicole Moreno-Deinzer on our show. Welcome.
So I'm excited to be here. So thank you so much for having me, Geraldine.
Tell the audience who you are, where you're from, and what you do.
So like Geraldine said, my name is Nicole Moreno-Deinzer. I'm from Oakland, California, and I wear multiple hats. I am the founder of Epiphania Magazine. It is a Latina lifestyle magazine. I am also a social media content strategist for other small businesses. And then I am a co-host with Geraldine for an entrepreneurship talk show called Doing the Damn.
Yes, Doing the Damn Thing. And if you haven't heard about it, learned about it, we're going to put the link in the description below. But today we are focused on success. But before we get to that, what do you do for fun when you're not working?
So for fun, I really do love to travel. So domestically and internationally, I try to make it a point to actually do multiple trips a year. And I love playing with my nieces and my nephews. So you'll see them a lot on my Instagram. They're all of different ages, so our activities are different. But it's just cool because they're just a reminder that I am cool and people do like me because they like me. And then I love trying new activities with my husband. So whether that is a new wine bar or we're trying a new like fitness thing, it's trying something new. That's what I like to do for fun.
Awesome. So as you know, the reason why we're here today is because we want to know what your definition of success is. So would you like to share that with the audience?
Yeah. So again, when I was looking at this question, I was a little like, oh yeah, what does success mean to me? And success means to me, when I really thought about it, is being able to live, like truly live your life, not paycheck to paycheck, being able to be financially stable enough where you could do everything that you would like to do, and it can lead to like happiness and well-being. I just think success is truly living your best life, whatever that means to you. My three pillars of success are compassion, grit, and delirium.
Oh, sorry. It's just really funny to hear all of those three things together. Will you explain? I know you have a great reason, though.
Yeah. So compassion, because I feel a lot of times in the entrepreneurial world, we sometimes get caught up in the ego due to social media, due to just, you're really just trying to build something. So you need to have compassion for your community, for the people around you, and then also just compassion towards yourself. You have to be good to yourself so that way your business can grow. Grit, because there are going to be days where you are just mentally exhausted, physically exhausted. We all hear stories of people maybe losing all their money, like you're living out your car so you can get your business started. You really have to have that grit that every day you're going to wake up and you're just going to do the best you can do that day and just move forward. And delirium, because, when you're starting a business and you're telling people all the things you're doing, you can sound a little crazy, right? You can sound like, why are you doing this? You feel like maybe you're running around in circles in the first few years of your business. So it's a little like almost that feeling you get between like being asleep and being like almost like sleepwalking. You're just like sometimes living in this like delirium cloud, but you just have to own it and be excited to live in that area because you need that just to keep going. You sometimes have to be irrational so that way your life could make sense. If that makes sense to you, Geraldine, I hope it does.
I love that. And the thing about delirium and why I really laughed is because there's so much truth to it on so many different levels. One, like you said, people think that you're crazy and tell you that you need to take a break or take it easy or don't worry or do this and do that later. So there's a lot of peer pressure in that sense or family pressures. And also, too, I feel like
your best ideas sometimes come out of delirium. Do you agree with that?
Oh, yes. I got this wonderful idea, actually. Do you mind if I give you an example?
Of course. I mean, no, I don't mind.
Yeah. So it's funny. Recently, there's some nights where I'm up till 2 a.m. getting like a project done. I just need to get it done. And I got this idea right in the middle of doing one project. And it was like, I've been fighting with, so for the magazine I have, like our About Me page with the photos of everyone that's on the team, and the team is growing, but people live in different areas. I was like, I can't get like a photographer for all of them in all these different areas. It's just, it makes no sense right now. And then it dawned on me, I'm like, oh, but wait, I could do one of those like cartoon images that they do for other publications. I don't know how to describe it. And then I have like an artist I work with, and I'm like, oh, I should just message her. And I just realized, I'm like, why the hell did I not think about this like 3 years ago? Like, it takes me 3 years to
After all this
figure this
time
out.
passed.
So yeah, it's just like sometimes you need to like be almost like you're about to pass out, and then you have this wonderful idea. You're
I
like, oh yeah.
know. It all lives in our higher selves. You can't really be in your higher self when you're like really pushing with your ego. So, are there any roadblocks that you had to overcome through your path of success?
Yeah, there were two roadblocks, so I'll just dive into one that I feel like is really relevant. In the middle of the growth of the magazine, I felt like I was hitting a lot of just mental roadblocks. And I couldn't really figure out like what those mental roadblocks were, because I thought I was pretty happy. I was feeling pretty good about the magazine. And I realized I was in a big transition. Like, this is looking back on it, hindsight. That was a really big transition because everyone talks about like the beginning. Everyone tells you how to get your first job, and then there's lots of books of how to start like a business. But no one tells you that when you're transitioning from one part of your life to another part of your life, there's just a lot of emotions going on, and sometimes very like subconsciously. And so it just messes up with your mental health. So I wasn't mentally prepared, even though I thought I was. I really wasn't mentally prepared for the magazine to grow. All of a sudden now I'm more of business owner instead of like the content creator. And now I have to manage these people, and it's just sort of, it was all these new things that I enjoy doing and I know I'm good at, but I wasn't like mentally prepared for it. And then I started feeling very insecure, and then started comparing myself to other people, and started comparing my success to other people's success, and then just really just making myself feel horrible. So I didn't come to realizing that I was going to do a transition. I had to do a couple of things to overcome it, actually. So I started seeing a therapist, and then I started working out more, and then I just started to really like almost give myself like a mantra. So all of last year, my mantra was, this too shall pass, like a reminder, like this moment, this negative feeling is going to pass. This isn't your life. Just because you feel like a failure at this moment doesn't mean you are a failure. So that's a roadblock I had to overcome. And I'm still overcoming it, but it's something I didn't even know it was going to be a roadblock I would have to overcome when it came to my business.
Yeah, it's a process. And I think it also, outside of entrepreneurship, it also applies too, because we all, as people, think that, or like to think that we're superhuman beings. And all of a sudden, when we get really inspired, we're like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And everything starts to fall into place. And then, like you said, all of these things that are unexpected also come too. But the thing is, we're so hard on ourselves. Like, we think that our enthusiasm is going to carry us through the unknown. So then all of these things start to happen. We've never done them before and we don't know how to deal with them. And we expect ourselves to just breeze through it. But that's not true. Like, if you're riding a bike, if you're learning a new skill, if you are improving your communication, if you're doing anything new, you're always going to stumble and you're always going to fall, and you have to work through it. And that goes the same for entrepreneurship, taking a new class in school, or learning anything new. So we need to really be compassionate toward ourselves, knowing that we don't know what roadblock we're going to have, but it's going to happen and we're going to be just fine.
Exactly.
So, in terms of the audience that's listening today, is there any advice that you have for them if they're looking to achieve success in their own lives?
Yes. And I think it's great that you're doing this podcast and talking about, because everyone has a different definition of success. And this is something at 33, going on 34, that it took me a while to learn, that you have to define what success means to you. And you might have to change that definition every 5, 10 years. Success to you might not mean like you want to live in this big mansion in like Calabasas or anything like that. Success to you might just be you want to be able to send your kids to like an exclusive summer camp for the next 5 years, something along those lines. You really have to define what success means to you and be okay that what it means to you doesn't mean to other people, not comparing yourself to other people.
All right. So thanks so much, Nicole, for being on our show. Really appreciate everything that you had to say and looking forward to releasing this episode.
Thank you so much for having me again. I really appreciate it.
You're welcome. Bye.
Bye.